people. How's it going? I'm Jenni.
KB here.
And we are here today making a special video that was requested by someone in an Arcane group chat that I'm in. Her name is Jasmine. Hi, Jasmine.
Hello, Jasmine.
And yeah, she asked me to make this, I think it was a few weeks ago.
Okay.
And I told her I'd add it to the list since we had already a lot that we planned to talk about. And yeah, she was asking our predictions of what we think is going to happen between Vi and Caitlyn in the show.
Arcane.
So here it is, Jasmine and everyone else. Yeah. So let's talk first about where we left off at the end of season 1. So Vi and Caitlyn, in essence, they are together.
They're holding each other up.
They're holding each other up at the very end.
Yep.
So there are a few factors here about what could affect their relationship together. I think one of the main ones is what's going to happen to Caitlyn's mom. Mm-hmm.
We don't know. A lot of people are speculating that Cassandra's going to die, but here's my thing. That's obvious, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would be too obvious, and we know that Riot doesn't really like to play it safe, let's say. They don't like to be obvious. They like to make you think. They like to make you kind of guess, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, will she or won't she? But let's say she does.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to make a rift.
Yeah, because basically the reason that Caitlyn didn't shoot Jinx was because Vi said, Caitlyn, she's my sister.
Mm-hmm.
And so so it's because of Vi that Caitlyn didn't. And so then, because she didn't shoot Jinx, Jinx then let out some kind of weapon missile situation that went right... Yeah, fish bones. That went right to the council building where Caitlyn's mom was. There's a lot of theories about what may or may not actually happen with Caitlyn's mom and the council.
Yeah.
About Mel.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's a whole video.
That's a whole video. But I think that would be one of the main factors of how their relationship moves forward, is whether or not Caitlyn's mom is injured or is killed. That would be really hard. I don't think that Caitlyn's the kind of person who would blame Vi for something like that. She really cares about Vi, and she has a lot of compassion for Vi and all that Vi's been through, because it's been a lot. But yeah, that's one of the factors. I think that I still think it would be a wrinkle in their relationship if something did happen to Caitlyn's mom. However, here's my main prediction of what is to come for them. So it's in Vi's personality to be very protective of those that she cares about.
Mm-hmm.
And you were the one who pointed out to me, I was just thinking Vi was being a jerk face when she broke up with Caitlyn. I was just like, oh my gosh, she's upset, she's in her feelings, she's just being a jerk. You said to me, she's protecting her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So she even broke up with Caitlyn and hurt her to protect her. So it's in Vi's Vander coding. Vander made her a mini Vander and told her that she was responsible.
Correct.
For others that were in her care.
Mm-hmm.
I think she sees Caitlyn as someone that's, in a way, in her care. Especially at the end of season 1, where she's just, like, devastated, been kidnapped by Jinx, injured. I think Vi sees her as in her care. I think that Vi's protection instinct is gonna kick in, and that she's gonna really want to take care of Caitlyn. And I think that that's what's gonna bring them closer, especially if Jinx continues to come after Caitlyn, which I don't really see her letting up on. I think as she continues to come after Caitlyn, Vi is going to have more and more reasons to stick around and make sure that Caitlyn is safe. I think Vi is kicking herself right now for leaving Caitlyn unprotected. Yeah. She doesn't trust the enforcers. Not that Caitlyn was an enforcer anymore anyway, but I don't think that there's anyone else that Vi super trusts to keep Caitlyn safe. And I think she cares a lot about Caitlyn. I think that that's ultimately going to be the thing that brings them together and solidifies their relationship. There was something that I read. There's an article, and this was about a different show that I watched, which is Outlander. They were talking about in Outlander how the relationships and the love that comes in Outlander comes based on need. And it was the author Diana Gabaldon who was saying this. She said that they come to love out of need. And I think that the same is true in Arcane. Ever since I first read the article, I was like, oh my gosh, they do that in Arcane too. That at the times when a character really needs the other, that's when they grow closer. And that's, I think, why Caitlyn and Vi grew close as fast as they did. There were a lot of times where, like, let's go back to when Caitlyn shot Savika to save Vi. She needed her.
She did.
Yeah, she would have
Killed her.
arguably died without Caitlyn's help.
Oh yeah, Savika was holding
And
back.
that helped them grow closer.
Yes.
You know, Caitlyn fed her the potion to heal Vi from the injury. It was a need. They grew closer.
Yep.
Caitlyn was injured. Vi came running to her screaming, Caitlyn! When she was afraid for her at the bridge scene. It was a moment of danger. Vi, like, lifted her up on her shoulder and carried her home. It was a moment of need. They grew closer. So I think that as threats grow, it's going to keep bringing them together time and time again. Do I think that their relationship is going to physically move forward in terms of are they going to kiss? Absolutely. Yeah, I think they're just going to keep coming into these situations of danger. Let's face it, Vi doesn't really hold back her punches, so she just comes barreling in on all kinds of situations. I think she's gonna get into a lot of tough spots where Caitlyn's cool head and her being more of a, like, further back kind of fighter who uses long range capabilities. I think that that's really gonna serve Vi a lot, and I think that she's gonna come to appreciate Caitlyn having her back. I think that Caitlyn is really going to appreciate Vi's insight and Vi getting things done and moving things forward, because Caitlyn plans a lot and it takes longer for her to get through things, whereas Vi is just like, let's get in and handle it. So I think that she's really going to appreciate that Vi has those qualities, and I think they're just going to keep saving each other and getting closer and closer, and they're going to smooch.
But when, though?
You know, I'm surprised they haven't yet. Even though they are very new in their relationship, I think that their level of intimacy is very high, and I think it's coming real soon.
You're surprised that hasn't happened yet? Really?
Yeah.
I just don't think it's for the right time.
I agree. I think that that's why it hasn't happened.
Yeah.
I think, but what I'm saying is that they got real close real quickly.
They sure did.
Yeah. And you all know lesbians come to a second date with that U-Haul.
Yes.
So, like, even though it seems like it's really fast, I think that they got real close real fast.
They definitely did.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%.
I'm not saying that they should have had them kiss. I don't think there was a moment that you would have been like, oh, that would have been the perfect time for them to kiss.
Nah, because even on the bed, you know, Vi's like opening up her hat to Caitlyn and everything.
Yeah,
so it's just not the
it's
right
about
time.
Emotional connection.
Yeah.
And I think that they're going to really build that up.
Yeah.
So that when they do physically connect, it's going to be just supernatural.
Exactly.
Very natural. Not supernatural like magic, but very, very natural.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do think that they're going to kiss very soon. I think they're helping each other out, taking care of each other. It's the logical next step.
Logically. Right?
All right, so I've shared my thoughts. What do you have to say about
I have
it?
a lot of I agree with you in a lot of cases. However,
Okay.
just like any romance, it always has its bumps in the road.
Yeah.
So I do feel like they are going to come together at some point. However, I believe it's going to take time to get there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, first and foremost, there's some stuff that Amanda Overton has already said.
Yeah.
Like, Caitlyn has no idea about Grayson. She has no idea about, like, the house situation, where it blown up. You know, not yet, she said. That's going to be interesting. And when they do this, if they do this, but if they actually go, like, Caitlyn finds out it was Vi, I wonder what's going to happen with that.
So you think it would be even more dramatic if they, like, just kissed and then they start finding out this stuff about each other?
I mean, I kind of want that, but I also kind of don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
both would be good, right?
Yeah.
And I'm also just, like, on the fence about what happened at the end with the council, right? Like, how much of a rift will that put between them? We know that Caitlyn won't necessarily blame Vi, but will Caitlyn take a page out of Vi's book and close herself off? Will she become the avoidant one? We don't know.
Yeah, true.
That would be interesting. But I'm definitely rooting. You know, they're gonna get closer for sure.
Yeah.
But it's Arcane. It's unpredictable. There's going to be hiccups in the road. Even Jace and Mel have hiccups as well.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
I know that there's going to be something going on, especially when she keeps and Overton keeps on like letting these little tweets out, and you're just like, oh, what does this mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm definitely excited. One thing we will eventually do is the trailer for season 2. But one thing I want to talk about is that, you know, Caitlyn says if I go alone after Jinx, one of us will end up in I think she said like a box or something like that.
Yeah.
Vi doesn't seem too gung-ho about going after Jinx, which I think is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe she hasn't processed everything that's happened yet.
Yeah. And that's something that we were talking about before we got on to make this video that I was saying was that up until this point, their intentions aligned in that they both wanted to go after Silco.
Yeah.
So they both had their own reasons. For Caitlyn, it's a sense of justice.
Yeah.
That she wants to protect the city like Grayson did.
Yeah.
For Vi, it's personal. It's because of what Silco did to her family. And to the lanes.
Oh, yeah.
He really made a mess out of that
place.
place.
Oh, sure did.
Yeah, so Vi definitely wants to go after Silco. They both want to go after Silco. But now, I think Caitlyn's going to want to go after Jinx. And Vi's not really going to want to go. She doesn't see Jinx as an enemy. I think she sees her as a threat at this point. But, of course, she still cares about powder and the powder that's in there somewhere. So, yeah, I think that that's going to be an interesting wrinkle in their relationship.
And I can't help but wonder, too, because this is just my analytical mind, but, like, does that mean that Caitlyn sounds not pretty happy in that trailer? Does that mean something happened to her mom?
Maybe.
Right? Like, does Caitlyn want to go after Jinx because of what happened? Or does Caitlyn want to go after Jinx because of something personal?
Yeah.
You know, we just don't know. I think it's so interesting, though. And it's like a really short trailer. But I can't wait when they release like more information about that later on, whenever they do, because we know it's not coming out this year, sadly.
I remember I told you, I was like, oh, there's a trailer. And you're like, yeah, that's not much. I watched it.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot.
It's very, very short, and it's
extremely
just voices.
But
it's something.
It's something. It lets you know that their story's still continuing.
To be happy about. Yeah.
But I'm definitely hoping for like happy endgame for, you know, Kate Vi for sure, because they deserve it. They've gone through so much mentally and physically.
Yeah, and they're so sweet together.
They really are.
I think they do both bring out the best in each other and complement each other really well.
So back to our predictions. Who do you think would make the first move?
Caitlyn.
Yeah.
Who do you think?
I want to say Caitlyn, but I think Vi can be a wildcat.
Yeah.
Look what she did to her in the brothel.
Yeah. I think she likes playing with Caitlyn.
I know.
But I think that Caitlyn's a little bit better at like navigating emotional moments in terms of like speaking her feelings and expressing her feelings. I think Vi, she's a wild spirit, but I think that she would want Caitlyn to have more than just her like wild way of just
of course.
I think that she's since then come to have more and more tender feelings. We've been giving her those more and more puppy eyes.
Oh my gosh.
Sweeter and sweeter looks. And so I think that, you know, I think she could have a little bit more of that really hot and heavy attitude. But I think that she wants to give Caitlyn more than that.
I'm sure.
And Caitlyn is the one who always cuts through Vi's bullshit.
Oh yeah, I mean,
so,
she sees through it all the time.
That's why I think she's gonna be the one to kiss Vi.
But if it's the reverse, I'm gonna be like, oh.
Yeah, I think either one's gonna be really hot.
Yeah, regardless of that too. Yeah.
So I shared when I think they're gonna kiss. When do you think they're gonna kiss?
So, if we're going about like episode wise, let's say they do what they do. They did 8 episodes? No, it was 9 episodes.
9, yeah.
I would say maybe by episode 3.
Okay.
Depending on what happens at the end. You know.
So you think in the first act?
I think in the first act.
Yeah. Even though I said early, like, I could see also them doing a lot of more build-up.
That's what I'm expecting.
A lot of times, the reason, and I think that they are going to come together. I think it's been made pretty clear that they're going to come together.
Yeah.
But usually the reasons that people will kind of, who have been, like, dragging their heels on coming together, that I see tend to be either one of them is in danger, one of them has a big shift in their own lives, or someone else comes into the mix.
Yeah, so that's another thing I have. I'm wondering, too.
And we know from Amanda Overton that Caitlyn's been having some girls up to her room. So I think that would be a really interesting way for them to move forward if someone's from Caitlyn's past or someone else is, like, moving in. It would be interesting. But honestly, I would be kind of surprised if they went in that direction.
I mean, it would be, but could you imagine if the girl from the brothel came back?
That would be very interesting.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, I don't know her name. Call her Emily, I guess. But, like, if she just, like, inserted herself into the picture, that would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Just because I just kind of want to see how that would play out.
True. Yes.
Like, you left me there.
Yeah. And, you know, we have to keep in mind, too, that they really create each act as a story of its own.
They do.
So, like, when you were saying by episode 3, I was like, oh, like, the first act. So, I could see, though, the first act being build up. Even though I said I think they're gonna kiss soon, but I could see the first act being kind of build up, and then the second act, like them.
Yeah, if they want to do more to building, which they can always
together.
do more to building for sure.
Yeah.
I love those soft, tender moments, and I also love me some angst. So why not throw some in there?
Some angst.
I mean, yeah, just like a little
mix.
sprinkle. You know, bring the brothel girl back in, make Vi realize, hey, you know what? You better get on that.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, some other girl's gonna come and swoop her away from you.
Yes, that'd be interesting, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Either way, I'm definitely excited to see what comes.
Oh gosh,
Anything else you think that might be coming our way?
I think we might get some. Caitlyn's never gun right now. Maybe we'll get some hand-to-hand Caitlyn.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I feel like she could definitely.
And I think something that would be, this isn't necessarily a prediction, but something I think would be interesting is Vi finding out that Caitlyn traded her gun for the potion to save her life.
Yes, I want her to know.
Looking and seeing in the family portrait that Caitlyn's holding that rifle, and Vi being like, oh yeah, that gun. And Caitlyn being like, I don't have it anymore. Like, you know, she's just being like real chill about it. And Vi's like, oh, but no, where is it? You know, I traded it. Traded it for what? You know, some potion. What potion? What potion? Oh yeah, you know, the one that saved your life.
Yeah.
You traded the gun and your family portrait for the potion?
Yeah, I would like to see that because as far as we're aware, because Caitlyn still was wearing her little knapsack thing for her gun until, not with her enforcer outfit, but so for all, Vi might be like, oh, she might still have it, you know? That might have even thought that crossed her mind because there's just been so much going on.
True.
But I believe that would be something that they would probably put in because that gun means way too much to Caitlyn, and that was such a powerful scene that I can't see why they wouldn't do more with that. Vi's reaction on the hand would be really interesting.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, it is. Yes, please.
Yeah.
2023, where are you?
What'd you say?
2023, yes, please.
Oh my gosh. But until then, we'll be here providing you all with more Arcane-related content, so you all can wait with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yay! Well, thanks so much for listening to our predictions, and we look forward to connecting with all of you again soon. Please subscribe so that you can stay in touch with us, and we're sending you all so much love. Till next time.
Ladies!